Hello, everyone. How's it going? I am Jeffrey, and today this is a very first kind of audio blog of me, Jeff. And you might know me from such things as CJM, where I am a co host with my friends Chris and Michael, and we just talk about random shit. But it's all about me today, and this is like a kind of spin-off thing, or as I said, an audio blog of various talkings. Oh my god, why would I say that? It's like saying you're gonna take your dog for walkies or whatever. That
Everything
sounds
else is pretty
stupid.
grandiose. Apparently, you're internet famous. Yay!
I'm not even internet famous. The one talking to me is my very good friend I've known for like a couple of years. Do I go by your real name or do I go by your the name I just usually call you?
Uh, I yeah, this would take me a month. You can just call me Ben if you want
You
to.
sure? You sure you want that name out there? Because I know how I always make sure never to say your name and just call you G. Because even though now I got that closeness, like I call you your name and not just your name on Twitter or whatever.
um, like I said, this is like way too much for my brain.
Really? Okay.
Um,
Then I'll just call you Ben. I guess we'll see
Sweet.
how this goes. My friend Benjamin.
Yo,
Well, yeah, whatever. That's my friend Ben. I decided to have him be not a this my person I talk to because everyone else is probably still sleeping in the middle of the fucking afternoon and they're like punks, I guess.
that's how I usually sleep.
Dude, and one thing, this is going to be completely random and niche, so there's no real concrete way how we're going to do this, but uh, so let's get started. And about what you just said, I always wake up like early in the morning on a Saturday to get shit done, like that responsibility of just making your breakfast, cleaning up your room and everything, making sure everything's fine before the afternoon because you can do a lot of shit then or whatever.
But I have done stuff like that. It was a very nice pace of life to just like work all morning and then screw around all night.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed it.
You did this like when you were teenage years or like now?
I did it for like a week when my parents weren't home and were on vacation, and it was a
Oh,
very fun time.
I actually remember you mentioning your parents were on vacation and you had the whole entire house to yourself, and I thought you should have like a party or something I similar to you.
I just did random chores around the house like in the morning and then played video games all night, and it was just like nice.
It was nice and quiet, no random noises or smells or whatever.
Yeah. Only the animals who randomly bug me for food.
All right, you have a dog, right?
Yes, I named her Samantha because I like that name, and she's super anxious. And I have a well, technically the dog is specifically mine, but the cat is more like my sister's and my mom's. He's really angry.
Of course, it's a cat.
Also, my sister has some random fish animal that no one knows what it is, and it like feeds off the algae in the tank. And people like forget that it exists for months at a time, and it's lived for like 6 years, and no one really knows how.
The power of a strong will of a fish.
Yes, the strongest fish will.
That's actually interesting to know, dude. Oh, so we are in a kind of, well, not even a kind of, a pandemic apparently, and we've all isolated ourselves into our houses, and our way of life has been disrupted immensely. Somewhat.
Yes, immensely.
Well, I'm not sure about you, but for me, I had to go to work and everything every day. And I work at a law firm. And no, I am not a lawyer, people, so tone it down, ladies. I got nothing for you. I have an average, I have a maybe above average IQ when it comes to randomness and being very, maybe somewhat intellectual when it comes to being trying to be philosophical and, problem solving, but at the same time, I wouldn't really grasp the fundamentals of wanting to be a lawyer. because that shit's hard, and I've seen what it does to some people since I've worked there for like 12 or 13 years now, and it's
Yeah,
not
it
just
seems really stressful.
it does. I mean, there was this one. I remember one dude who was actually pretty cool and a lawyer. He used to have like brown hair when I first met him, and then throughout the past decade, I seen that brown hair turn grayish. Like, damn, dude, what
This
happened?
job has aged me.
Yes, and then he did. Then I remember his secretary just told me, "Oh, that's stressful. All that stress accumulates in some way." Like, oh fuck, wow. So, but yeah, pandemics has stopped work. I now work from home electronically per se, even though my responsibilities have changed, sadly, which was not my fault. That was a higher up thing, and it's annoying. But I'm getting kind of used. I'm more, of course, used to my new uh, title, but I do still help up my old work ethic whenever I can on the computer.
Sweet.
Yes. And now, with all this extra time, because work is off for a month, apparently, because DC is closed, or work official things that's ineffective for everyday use, more or less. It's closed. So I'm home doing work on, like, working at my own leisure with a small laptop, which is actually kind of okay. It's a Dell computer. I'm not sure what that means anything for anyone who's like more techie with the laptops and whatever, but it's a Dell laptop. It's cool, I guess.
I mean, knee-jerk reaction is that it was kind of affordable.
Ah, you know what? That's what you. That might have been the point. I think I heard someone say that at work. Like, affordable. Oh, I get it. Because it's cheap. Is that what it means?
Well, it is. I don't know, but from what I remember, Dell laptops are a good combination of cheap and not shitty. So like they're decent. I don't know how long they last though,
Huh.
but
Well,
they do end up being a good combination of not too expensive and pretty all right.
okay, because unfortunately the stupid charger stopped working, so I have not been able to get on it for like a couple of days, and apparently my work is going to deliver it to my house sometime next week, so I can be working on it.
Sweet.
Because apparently there's a fucking mandate like, oh, you at least have to try to work online, not just fuck around at home, do whatever you want, which I kind of do, I guess, which is fine. I'm a 35-year-old male, so I can do whatever I want, technically,
Yeah.
within reason. But I guess I can. But it does get kind of boring when you realize you can do all the shit you want to do, and but realize that you do have some responsibilities you have to keep up with and everything, and just show people that you're working because I technically still need a paycheck and everything. So yeah, so I can still buy the shit I want, even though now it could be delayed, which is annoying.
Nah, that sounds awful.
Yeah, dude, I ordered that P5 Persona 5 Royal thing, and I got an email saying that it could potentially be delayed on Tuesday. Maybe, I don't know. I'll find out. But I haven't received a previous email beforehand saying that it's going to be delayed. So I'm thinking it could come in, hopefully, on that
Sweet.
Tuesday. Because I need a fucking game to get me through this shit because I cannot do Animal Crossing. I don't get it. It's annoying.
I was going to say that like everyone is like, oh man, quarantine. There's like nothing to do. I have so much free time to learn a new skill or like fix something I'm needing to fix. And everyone's just playing Animal Crossing.
I know. It's so. I don't know. It's like a cult now at this
No,
point.
and I don't like. I'm not. And I'm like, there. Can't talk, can I? I'm not even saying like everyone's literally playing Animal Crossing. It's just that everyone's having a hard time doing that because like I don't know, doing all that stuff is harder than it would seem. Especially since like if it was like something you wanted to fix and it's like, oh man, that means I have to go to Home Depot and buy something.
Mm,
No, thank you. I
mm.
actually have been going out during the quarantine and it's not great.
As in, it's like the streets are empty. You can drive however you want, or just like
No.
no. Okay.
That's what I assumed it would be. I'm like, oh man, this is just like playing like a Fallout game. Maybe I should bring my dog. I
Fallout.
should get a long coat and a hat, and I should like put a long rifle on my thing, and I'll be walking the aisles of the grocery store alone. I was wrong. The grocery store is hella packed, and nobody does the stay 6 feet apart thing.
Yeah,
So
that's
every
sad.
time I come home, I have to like take a shower, which I
A
hate.
scolding hot shower, like to get off all the grease and the grime and shit.
Yeah, like and that happened at I went to Jungle Gyms, which is like a niche local grocery store that I love too much. I went to Meyer and I went to Home Depot, which was actually a more packed than both the grocery stores, and
Whoa.
b obnoxious because I thought I knew what I was doing there.
Hmm.
I did not know what I was doing there, and the things I was looking for were not there at all.
What were you? Well, can I ask what you were looking for or no?
Yeah, basically, like everybody else, I'm like, oh man, I have a bunch of stuff that I could be working on, and I haven't. But that's because of like a whole depression thing and stuff that I deal with personally. So
Hmm.
what I have been doing is mostly gardening,
Cool.
and the soil in my area, either because I live in Ohio or because when they developed this area, they didn't really think about the soil. It's mostly clay, and it's a pain in the ass to work with. It's
So
like
you,
backbreaking.
so you don't got no soil, actual soil?
I mean, I think clay counts as soil, but it's like really thick and heavy soil, and it's hard to work
Oh.
with.
Hmm.
And my dad used to work as like a park manager, and he's been telling me to add sand to it for the last like 3 years.
Hmm.
But it doesn't seem to be working. So I was randomly reading a book that someone gave me about gardening, and it said to actually incorporate gypsum.
Hmm.
So I went to and like organic fertilizer. I'm like, okay. So I went to Home Depot looking for gypsum, and they didn't have any. It's like it's not. It's like it's not something they usually sell in stores. They had it on the site though.
Maybe it wasn't sold there, just sold in like another city of where you live.
Could be. I ended up ordering some on Amazon like a couple hours ago.
You know, again, Amazon might be kind of not the most best thing to go to because everyone's doing it because they're stuck at home with kids or girlfriends
Yes,
or boyfriends, and
I thought of that when you said there were delays. I'm like, that's probably not going to get here anytime soon.
yeah, I actually had to. I wanted to order myself an actual charger for this annoying laptop, but it said it was going to come to like April 23rd. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, but also something else that was kind of. If I'm just going to talk about gardening, all I ended up doing at Home Depot was buying like a tool to like try and loosen up the soil because the one that I have has a lot of moving parts in it and it keeps getting jammed.
Hmm.
So this one is just basically like it's not sharp or anything. But the easiest way for me to like explain it is like a stick with four knives at the end.
Hmm. Okay.
And I thought because it was like non-mechanical, it wouldn't get jammed. But I tried to use it, it immediately got jammed.
Huh.
There is so much clay in the soil. So I decided like maybe it's because it's wet. So I did a control where I did the soil in the front yard, which somebody made a raised bed, which basically just means that they like put up bricks and they put like soil they just bought at Home Depot.
Hmm.
Because unlike me, they're not crazy. I was using there, and it worked really easy. It was like 5 minutes of work. I was pissed.
Oh wow.
It's not fair. So I went and got some gypsum on the Amazon. Hopefully that'll help make the clay less backbreaking labor to work with.
Ah.
I could just do what they did and buy some dirt from Home Depot, but I'm like, that's using dirt that somebody else could use. And maybe if I just make my own dirt good, it's better for the environment. I have no idea if that's true or not, but it's what
Uh,
I've been working on.
buddy, I don't think that's true because I think you use dirt, but that's just me.
Should have just bought the dirt. That was the easy way out. Take the easy way out, please.
Yeah, you're kind of going through all these hoops and ladders, dude, that you don't really need to go through.
That's what I do all the time. That's pretty much like when I was talking earlier about like this may not have been recorded, but I was talking earlier about like spending 2 hours trying to find freeware versions of stuff. Like there was one time where like I was doing it for like something, and my dad knew it, and he's like, "This is important." So it's like, "Oh, what do you found?" I'm like, "I've only found like programs, and they cost like $20." And he's like, "Buy it," and I'm like, "But it's $20," and he's like, "How much?" How much money do you think your time is worth? Because you've been looking for a program for like 5 hours. Is that not worth like $20? And I'm like, I don't know.
It's interesting that you have that kind of relationship with your dad. That you can actually talk to him about computer work when he's like when he's like boomer age, and at that age they kind of just stick with what they know more or less.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't know much about computers either, but like I'll explain certain parts to him and he'll just be like, okay. Like, I gave him the option of getting a hard drive for his computer, and I explained to him the difference between a a regular hard drive and a solid state drive. And he's like, what's the difference? I don't think I understand. I'm like, basically the difference is that like the actual like mechanical difference is that hard drives rotate and they like read a disc kind of. It's not really a disc, it's like a big magnet thing, but it's kind of like reading a disc, so it has to rotate to the right part of the disc to the information. So it's still fast, but it could take some time. And it's moving parts, so it's more likely to break. And a solid state drive is just like, it doesn't move at all. It's like a bunch of flash drives for a hard drive. And you can get up the information really fast. And he's like, oh, so solid state drives are better? And I'm like, yeah, but they're more expensive. And he's like, so get a solid state drive if it's better. I'm like, okay. I'm like, but it costs more money. He's like, well, we buy, how long will it last? I'm like, I don't know, like 10 years. And he's like, or like probably way more than that. He's like, just buy the nicer one.
I mean, when you think when you hear someone say it like that, it is just best just to spend a little extra just to get the good shit, I guess.
Yep. Solid state drives are also super nice. They are very good.
So you're saying you're just cheap then?
Huh?
Yes,
I'm
you're
super
saying
cheap.
you're cheap.
I hate spending money.
Okay, so at this point, I can say you're more like Walmart, and I'm more like Target or JCPenney. If that's even
Yep.
shit, I guess. I don't know.
I am so cheap.
Dude, it's not always best to go be cheap and everything. Sometimes you gotta spend it and everything to get what you want in this world.
I know, and I'm learning that. But at the same time, I only started making an income like last year.
That's a good thing, though.
I know, but like before that, I'd never had an income, so I was always trying to save money because I never had any. So it's a hard like habit to break.
Back to now. You probably won't think I remember how we started this conversation, but I did. And it's all about the pandemic and how you went to go to the store and it's packed, and you said that like you think it was gonna be all you can just wear a trench coat hat and have a long ass rifle and everything and be like that game you said Fallout.
Yes.
The thing about it is, technically, if you really want to be an edgelord, you can get like one of those little masks with the teeth, like as if you're from that darn anime, Tokyo Ghoul.
That would be hilarious. I thought you actually meant like one of the not like the leather mask from Tokyo Ghoul, but I thought you meant like one of the like surgical masks that like people draw stuff on.
I mean, you could go for that if you can find it, but I saw someone, a voice actor on Instagram, saying like in a post, he actually said I've been waiting my whole life for this, and he actually had one of those Tokyo Ghoul masks or something. It looked like it, but it probably wasn't. But I think I got the gist of what he was saying. I think so.
They sell the Tokyo Ghoul masks at cons. They also sell those the masks that I was talking about. They have like stuff written on them. Sometimes it's teeth. Sometimes it's like a bear.
That kind of thing. Yeah.
I did try to emulate that once in a really stupid Halloween costume.
It didn't work.
I mean, I'm always going to be hard on myself, so I don't know. Oh. But it technically wasn't it didn't work necessarily because I just bought some surgical masks from like CVS, and I tried to draw on them with marker to make them orange. I don't think that worked.
I thought the go-to color would be like blue, black, maybe red, not orange.
I was just taking the mask idea and trying to use it for something else where I was trying to like... I just had a dumb idea of trying to dress like a human version of Perry the Platypus from Phineas and Ferb for Halloween.
Oh, right, you like that cartoon, don't you?
Yes, it's amazing.
As long as I've known you, you mentioned that show, I just never got it. But then again, we come from two different age groups and everything.
I do like how there's this one friend that I have. I wonder if I'll ever listen to this because I'm about to say that he sucks. But he sucks!
Okay.
And it's a friend that I had. I think we hate each other now. I don't really care, but I don't think he likes me.
Okay.
But like, I was talking to him about it, and he's like, I'm not into it. But like, it's funny because I have a story from a teacher, because I brought it up to, I brought it up to him, and he was like, I don't care. I'm like, this is why I hate you. and then I think he had a story for me later where he like, because I brought it up, he brought it up to like a teacher or something as like a joke. and the teacher was like, "Oh, you mean the best cartoon ever made?"
Oh shit.
And it was because he had kids, so he had to watch kids shows with them. And
Hmm.
it's like Barney and like other things. It's like this is torture, but like Phineas and Ferb is actually like really funny. So he's like, I love this show, and I love that my kids love it because that means that I get to watch something that doesn't make me hate my life.
That is actually cool. That's one of the ultimate clapbacks I've ever heard.
Yep.
The greatest show ever. Now, I'm not gonna say it's the greatest show ever because, I mean,
Oh
different
yeah, that's
opinions,
tasty
but
stuff.
it was a. I can admit it's actually pretty a good show for a lot of people.
Yeah, I like it. It's very clever. I should probably watch all of it at some point, but
You
if I never
should.
finish it, then I never have to admit that it's over.
Oh man, I think you have to. It's time to. It's time to close that book and just realize it that it's ended. No one talks about it anymore, dude.
Especially since there's like a spiritual successor series that I should probably watch.
And what's that spiritual successor?
Milo Murphy's Law.
The what?
Milo Murphy's Law.
I have never. Oh, I've never heard of this, but okay.
It's by the same people, the same animators, and the old characters from Phineas and Ferb sometimes pop up.
I thought that Phineas and Ferb. Oh, never mind. That would be a spoiler. You know what? Never mind. Um, no.
Yeah, they probably grow up or something in like one of the episodes I haven't watched.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna bring up, but I've never watched it per se. I am aware that I remember the videos you used to show me. Like,
Yes.
like they have like sometimes they got that funky '70s song beat about a female's hair and everything
Yes.
or whatever. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, so it's more about the
Is
songs
it
more so
bad that I
than.
know the exact song you're talking about?
Oh God, okay,
And it's definitely called Izzy's Got the Frizzies.
okay. Of course you would know. You're a fan, a big fan of
Fucking
it.
love this show.
That platypus who's a detective, I think.
Yeah, or secret agent, or but he wears a fedora, which is more like a PI thing.
Yeah, but I guess you got to distinguish him somehow. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, Phineas and Ferb. That's after me. I'm only aware of it from you, and yes, I admit I was not the most. I wasn't the most person that was really into it because I thought it was for kids. But I can admit now that it was all right. I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not some I'm not some asshole that's saying, "Oh, this is like some bad shit." No, there are some cartoons out there that are actually pretty good, like that. Oh, what was that show that that can those kids go to summer camp, so some fucking summer camp or whatever with their grandpa, no, their uncle ran this place and Howard
Oh, Gravity
Falls,
Falls.
huh?
Gravity Falls.
Yeah, that show. I'll
I did
admit.
not watch that one.
Oh, okay. Because I admit I got into that one very late, as in like the last episode I got into it, and I started watching half a little bit of the series. Like, oh, okay, this is actually pretty good. Long
Yeah.
ass story. It's actually very coherent, and it's actually pretty good.
Yep.
Even though the little sister or whatever got on my nerves, no end.
Hmm.
I mean, seriously, that happiness and everything. But she was like 12 or 13 or whatever how those ages were. So I guess it's true that kids go through that whole transition phase, and not everything really sticks. Some ones just want to stick with the whole things of happiness and friendship and love and all that stuff. I guess,
Yes.
which is nothing wrong with it. It's very nice to have that mindset, even in today's age. Even though I think some of the certain age group is very, very cynical for their age. That's very amazing for a man of my age. Just witness.
I'm actually trying to move back to that. I used to be like that. It was kind of beaten out of me, but that might be a little bit too sad for whatever we're doing right now.
I think we're just having random conversations because there's nothing else to do or talk about.
Plague week.
I mean, again, a pandemic really brings out what kind of people we are, and I guess after almost 2 weeks now being out of work, not really out of work, but not going into DC or whatever. It's very interesting trying to stay home and keep your mind occupied and try to keep up, be uplifting and all that stuff because
Yeah.
it can get kind of sucks somewhat with other things that are happening.
Yeah.
And no one realized upon 2020, our new decade, that we would be entering a new dimension of randomness and apparent death and shit. It's just so randomized. No, not even randomized. It was just so big that our lives have been uprooted in this capacity.
Yeah.
Huh. It really makes you wonder. Now I'm actually reading some books. I'm trying to get a blog done about a book I read last year that I loved called XL.
Hmm.
XL is this book. I'm telling you, dude, it really, and I was like 34 at the time when I read it, and it really changed my life. And it's the kind of book I'm thinking, why didn't this shit come out when I was a teenager? This would have been my Bible, more or less.
Sounds
Um,
pretty. Actually, that sounds really great.
It was, and it is, because the story is this main character who's like only 4'9" in the beginning of the book. He's like the runt of his like friendship trio with his best friend slash stepbrother because their parents are married. His dad, the main character's dad, married his best friend's mother and everything, and their family, and they've been best friends since they're like 10, living in San Diego or Seattle or something, one of those places. And uh he's like the responsible one, but very sarcastic and intelligent, and he's like interning at his father's zoo as a gorilla keeper or something.
Hmm.
And the thing about it is, he's like going through the pains of like, he's 16, but he's like still short, very short for his age, and it's very upsetting. And some people know that's like a trigger warning about his height and shit that they try to avoid or whatever. And it's funny to realize that he gets fucking like blows up at people for mentioning the fact he's so short. And
I have never for some reason, I feel like randomly interjecting about a series that I've never seen. But that just reminds me of like a 3-second video I've seen of, I don't know, one of the Gundams with some guy named Camille, and he's like, "Don't say my name's a girl name."
that's cool.
Just randomly hauls off and beats the shit out of someone for it.
Well, unfortunately, the kid doesn't. Well, the teen doesn't really do that, but he does. But he does have a wit. He has a very witty, sarcastic sense of humor in this book, as he's exploring the ins and outs of his life.
Uh-huh.
So there's this other part of the trio. Another best friend, a female, of course, who's like a surfer girl and everything, and he's had a crush on hers for like ever. And he's finally going to admit he has feelings for her or
Uh-huh.
whatever. They have like the secret spot in a cave, like where the ocean is, and it's very cool, kind of, very suburban-y white kids sing and everything. Which, yes, I know, I'm aware that, yes, of course it had to be white kids. I mean, it's the author projecting certain things, maybe whatever he's experienced in his life. And the man's like in his like early 50s. I wrote this book, and he's a fucking and I stand by, this is a fucking good book, and I loved it. It's They have a little secret place they go to, and the best friend is and the best and the female best friend's like very chill and everything, and she gets him, and he likes that about her too. And the thing
Uh-huh.
is, the other best friend, the his best friend, the one that's his brother, he's like in the basketball team, like, jock, but he like hangs out with his brother slash best friend, and they're cool. They're like very cool. And they like and but then the best friend, male one, has like a plan for them. He for some odd reason projected this plan that they had like in their life, like they're all gonna go to the same college and enjoy life more and everything. That's the plan. That's the whole thing in the book. There's a plan they're gonna do. Main character's off for it, more or less, but the female's like, I don't know, but she ain't saying anything yet. And then as Oh, that's just the fucking beginning. But the thing is, main character is short. But then after he sees like his two best friends kiss and become get in a relationship with one another, it really like breaks his heart, and it's like distraught, puts him in distress and everything. And
Uh-huh.
like he can't deal with it. Like saying like he got her because he's taller than me, and and well, whatever, and she's going for him because of whatever, and it's like okay, and it's not okay for me because what about my feelings of me, and I am owed this. I will never get anything better than being short and the best friend and all this shit, and I'm fucking tired of this being put upon and everything, making all about him. And so he decides to get drunk at a party with some other random friends, which is cool because I like that medium of he has other friends outside the main core of his friends, I guess.
Yeah.
He gets drunk and he comes home by Ubering because, that's so the end thing to do, more or less. Um, his dad finds out or whatever, and he's like saying, the dad's kind of chill with it, but not saying, don't really you shouldn't do that shit. Yeah, yeah, I know father's name because he doesn't call him dad. He calls him like his first name, and it's just one of those weird things that I guess can happen with parents sometimes. Like some parents might be okay with their kid calling him their names, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But then after this whole shock and everything, something occurs. Uh, his appetite starts getting bigger, and he realizes he's eating more of a consumption of food, and his stomach rumbles very loud, which is fucking funny. I can't help but laugh out loud when I read that part. Like, oh shit, really? Um, he realizes that oh no, he goes through the whole menopause, not menopause. That would just be very very bad to say. He goes through the teenage angst of saying like I'm short. I know to his brother, stepmom, and his dad because they're trying to avoid saying the word short when something happens and they're talking about it. And he just says, you know what? I am so freaking tired of you always just tiptoeing around me with the fact I'm short. I get it. I know I'm never gonna get any taller than this. I get it, so just fuck off and everything. And he gets on his high horse, grabs some kind of marker, and just puts a jot on some kind of that wall thing where you test a kid how tall they're getting, like on a
Yeah.
wall or something. He does that. He puts a mark on it and he says, "There, see, I did it. Now let's just see how short I am." And whatever, and then he throws it down, and then they're all just stunned that he actually grew like 3 inches. He's 5'2" or 5'3" now, and they all did go through the process of saying, "Oh God, he actually got taller. Is this real, Mom, Dad?" And they look, he looks, and everyone looks again, triple checking each other, and it's kind of a fun moment that he realizes he got tall, and that's all he wanted. And you would think that would be the end of the book. No, that is not the end because with getting taller, certain things start shifting now. He doesn't get tall, he gets super tall for whatever reason, which is not really explained in the book. It's just one of those weird occurrences. Throughout the book, he like by throughout the book of his summer, he is like 5'3". By the end of summer, he's like 5'8" or whatever. And throughout the book, he is like 6'1", 6'5" in the middle when he gets a girlfriend for the first time and has sex, and it's funny. And then by the end of the book, he is like a flipping he's like a flipping 7 foot feet by the end of the book, and there's no explanation why. He goes to he thought he had cancer. It wasn't cancerous. Which is actually explores his backstory with what the thing that happened to his biological mom. Sadly, she died of cancer, so that's a factor into the book too. Like maybe he had cancer. This is why it's coming the absurd growth. No, we don't know why it's happening, but it's just one of those weird things. It's just one of those things that we'll keep track of. But you're fine. And with getting taller comes forth being confident, comes forth with certain things in his life changing with his best friends. Like he's like shooting up, and the relationships are changing on a big front. Even his personal friendships with his other friends start suffering. Um, and along with when he gets a girlfriend and they date for a minute, and all he can think about is like snacking on food, which is fucking funny because he's just always hungry and everything. And the thing about it is, at its core, this book is more of a how do they call it? Coming of age. That yes, everything changes, and it's bad, and it can be scary, it can be wrong. Yes, and it shows that you can be a jerk when you gain newfound fame or whatever, or or just everything's just changing, and that's fine. It's okay for everything to change. We all change. It's fine, and I think that's what the moral of the story is. And of course, the growing pains of, do you remain friends with your friends with gaining this confidence? You feel like they're holding you back, or you feel like they jilted you because they got together when you thought you had a chance with her, which actually is revealed in the end, surprisingly, that that the main female character of this book as well actually liked the main character. It's just that when she was like throughout, God, I know I'm jumping through all over the place, and I'm so bad at this. I'm trying to explain it because I just get so excited because this is like a fucking good book. She actually was going to court the main character on her birthday, but he got upset. The main character, took it the wrong way when she was going to go to like pet him. She wasn't going to pet him, like treat him like a little brother. He in all his wisdom, he's the one that fucked it up and everything. Because he got so mad at her. But some like, dude, you caused it on yourself. If you would have just remained calm, she would have been yours or whatever. How did this shit never needed to happen? This is all your fault.
Indeed.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's not built until the ending, and throughout the book, it follows the course of his relationship with his two best friends and the whole changing and shooting up, along with um, the two best friends also learning more about each other by dating each other, and also some parts about the female character's current circumstances with her father being a drunk. Um, the two the two the two best friends who are brothers having a change in their friendship too, because um it seems like the main character is actually pretty good at, maybe I guess, basketball or something, because since he's so tall now, as he's getting taller, he has to be like reorganize everything with his balance. Apparently, like he has to kind of bulk up to match the height factor, apparently, which is a thing. So he's like, in the beginning when he's getting all this growth spurt, he's tripping over himself and everything, which is kind of funny. Like, oh shit, this tall giant and everything is tripping over his big feet or whatever. Along with, he's also getting trolled by an unknown person and whatever, which is actually interesting to see because I personally don't really grasp how you can get bullied online, because that was after my graduation, when the whole boost of online bullying became a thing. But Excel was a freaking good book. I stand by. And the thing about it is, I actually was wondering that if this was like, why couldn't this been out when I was a teenager? Because I could have tried to base my life off of his. Not really. Only with the whole having a witty, sarcastic sense of humor, which I didn't get till much until I was like an adult. So it's kind of like one of those things like, this happens when I'm just an adult now, being
The
sarcastic.
need of important sarcastic role models.
Exactly. I could have used him as a role model as a teenager when I was quiet and everything and kind of needy, sadly, as a teenager.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah. But I mean, there's more factors that I am missing that I just not bringing up because it's like a lot of it's like a kind of a short book, but not really. It's a chapter book. It's for like teenagers and up, and I guess I'm up even though I'm like 35, and I'm singing the praises of this one teenage book, which I swear by, that one day when I'm a parent, and one day when I'm a parent, I am going to show my firstborn son. I'm going to have him read this book, and it's going to fucking influence him and everything. Because if he's saying he's like upset for being short, I'm just going to read this book. It'll change your life, bro, son, or whatever.
I don't like to read.
If you're my son, you're gonna read. If you're my son, you're gonna like to read. I will not accept. I don't care if you're gonna be a sports jock and everything. You better learn how to read, damn it. That's how the way I'm gonna do it.
Fine.
Exactly. Um, yeah, because unfortunately, I also have a problem with my height. I think, even though I'm like 5'9", not 5'8", as I thought I originally was, I'm only 5'9". However, the thing is, um, out of my cousins, I think I'm the shortest one.
Hmm.
All my cousins are like kind of like taller than me. And my youngest cousin, who's like 20 years old now, almost 20, he's like 6'1", and it really fucking annoys me that this baby of the family, who always like clung to me as a toddler and kid and whatever, he's like fucking taller than me. It's annoying as fuck. Like, oh, really?
I am also very tall, and I don't know. I didn't get any of the probably I don't know. Maybe because I'm autistic, but it's just like I didn't really feel anything about it. The
Hmm.
only thing I found about it was kind of bad because I realized that it pissed everybody off
Why would it piss people off?
because I was taller than them and they didn't like it.
Oh, because if they were gonna talk down to you, they couldn't. They had to look up.
Yeah, pretty much. It was mostly adults who got pissed off by it.
Yeah, when you see a tall ass teenager, like when you were a teenager, just just come walking up and everything, you ask a question, they gotta look up like, fuck, this is so annoying. I want to curse this kid out, but I can't. I gotta be professional.
But my fault that I'm tall. Gosh.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're like what, 6'1", 2"?
Yeah. I'm also very big around.
Dude, I'm actually so fucking jelly. I'm only 5'9". Dude, this
I'm sorry.
this sucks. I will never know what true height is. It
I
sucks.
don't know. Just wear really tall shoes.
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm very secure in my heightness factor because when I found out I might not really be 5'8", I'm really probably 5'9", which is a good thing because that gave me the boost I needed. Like, yeah, I'm 5'9".
Yeah. Confidence.
I just need that 1 inch. I don't care if I will never reach 5'10", but if I'm 5'9", I'm good. So I guess all that time I said I was 5'8" on all my medical stuff is kind of wrong, which I feel kind of guilty about now. Like, oh shit, maybe
I also
I should
like
have
how for
probably
a
got my
second
height fixed.
I was like you were like, I'm 5'9". Gosh. And I'm like, why are you upset about that? That's basically 6 feet tall. And it's like my brain's like, this is not the metric system. There are 12 inches in a foot, not 10.
But yeah, and now, sadly, I forgot why I went on that tangent about XL, the book I read.
Because you liked it.
Yes, I really did. And I need to try to find another book for myself to find another book for 2020 to get into. But unfortunately, I'm reading a Fantastic Four comic, which is fine. I love the Fantastic Four, especially in a period of time I stand by is the best that no one gives credit for is the Heroes Reborn era, the after Heroes Reborn era, and no one really mentioned the Chris Claremont years, which is so disappointing because I think that shit slaps and it's awesome. And I have like half of that series, but like it's like sporadic because I didn't like go to like to get these comic books when I was younger in any consistent way. I only got them like, more or less if I was like getting my hair cut on base or something.
Yeah.
But now I'm getting the full story of issues I might have missed, and I'm really loving it.
Sweet.
Yes, but the thing is, I haven't really read books. I have like a lot of electronic books I could be reading. Like I still gotta read that new Stephen King book, but as well as I still gotta get through Sleeping Beauties, which I've been reading for like 2 years, and it's like a big book, and I'm thinking, God damn it, if I was like a couple years younger, I would have probably blown through it in like 3 months. But I've been busy with work or reading up other things that I forgot about it.
Yes.
So I just want to find that one book that just encapsulates me to read it consistently, even when I'm home, because I actually miss reading books at home when I'm not playing a video game or blogging or typing up a fan fiction story. Yes, I'm a nerd. I'm sorry. It's a thing. Nerds rule the world, you know. You know about Avengers Endgame and all that Marvel shit, right? We're the ones that knew the potential of this thing more than you guys. So trying to show up people like, oh, I was reading this before it was popular, kind of dick moment. Like, I'm gonna move
I like it
left.
before it was
Don't get hit by my dick.
cool. I'm going to sit in the big chair because I was right.
Exactly. That's one. That's another analogy I could have thought of, but I didn't because I had to go for a fucking dick joke. I wonder what that says about me if I have to do
No idea.
that. I was trying to quote Vegeta from Dragon Ball from Dragon Ball Abridged.
Oh wait, I can almost remember what that was.
I kind of vaguely remember because he was like he became a Super Saiyan, actual Super Saiyan, not that fake shit, and and the Frieza saga. He became actual
Yeah.
Super Saiyan, and he messages like, "I'm gonna just don't get in front of my dick when I swipe left or some shit like that when I
Yeah.
turn left or whatever." Like, okay,
Something like I'm going to turn left, so try not to get hit by my dick or
yeah.
something.
One sec,
The
yeah,
only one that I
yeah.
remember. Hmm?
One sec, G. Okay.
Go.